listening to JR Morning with Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
ABC News confirms that both the Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump and Democratic counterpart Kamala Harris have agreed to meet for this debate on September 10th. Donald Trump says he'd like to debate maybe 2 more times. Harris has not responded to that just yet, but at least we're going to get a debate. Let's talk to Dave Doolio, professor of political science and director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning, Jamie. Thanks for having me.
Well, just kind of like the last time, there was not going to be a debate, and then something happened behind the scenes, and now there will be a debate.
It seems to be the way debates in most races in the United States go these days. It doesn't have to be like this. Certainly at the presidential level, for decades, the Commission on Presidential Debates handled all of the logistics and organizing and simply said, hey, this is when they're going to be, this is where they're going to be. We expect you to show up. And about a year ago, the Republicans decided to not participate and sort of eschew the commission. And we're left with, unfortunately, I think, the debate about debates. And there's a lot of unnecessary round and round, but at least we're going to get one and hopefully more.
Dave, Kamala Harris has been relatively absent from media interviews since she started her campaign. She's been criticized for it. How significant is it for her to get in front of me, to do a sit-down interview with someone, and what does she risk if she doesn't or delays it?
Well, I think, Lloyd, it's incredibly significant. It's unheard of for a presidential candidate to go weeks without speaking to the press. And I think that I think I saw a report yesterday that she did talk to some reporters when she was maybe leaving our area. But I think there's an expectation that candidates are going to have a back and forth with the press and answer questions, and we can link that to the debates too. That they need to talk to folks in ways that are not just produced television ads or the staged events that they've been having. I think it's critically important.
There is a whole discussion and debate, again, on the debate on national media about, does it matter? Do people at their kitchen tables care if Kamala Harris isn't doing interviews? I'm in it, and I'm following this every single day, so
right.
It matters to me. What do you think?
Oh, gosh, I think, Americans have a lot to worry about, and they've got a lot going on. They've got very busy lives. I think, do they care? That would be a great survey question. Maybe we can get one. Maybe we can get one of the pollsters to ask that. But I think about it more in terms of responsibility, right? Where these are the folks that want to be president of the United States. They want to lead this country. They want to be the leader of the free world. And I think that it's almost a bare minimum that they go in front of the press, that they go in front of their opponent and have let's be clear about it, right? It needs to be a civil and respectful conversation that provides good information for people who are going to make a decision about how they're going to vote.
What about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign? It seems to be kind of, losing some steam and, declining poll numbers and reduced public presence. What is this? Is it because of the excitement from the Harris and Waltz team that has kind of shrunk his numbers and shrunk him out?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think the Kennedy presence has, for the entire time that he's been on in the conversation, has one of the issues has been, okay, who is he drawing more from? Is he drawing more from Trump or in the past was he drawing more from Biden? And I think that now that we see Harris at the top of the Democratic ticket and Kennedy's numbers declining, I think that tells us that there were maybe a lot of Democrats who were willing to support Kennedy but are now coming home to the Democratic Party. And I think that is a significant shift in the race.
And I'm sure the funding as well, financially, the money is going to Harris and Walz.
Oh, for sure. Right. Any sort of shift like that is going to move not only votes, but probably money too. Yeah.
Yesterday, Trump had this press conference. It went for an hour. I mean, honestly, it's impressive to stand there for an hour.
Absolutely.
Sometimes meandering. Do you think he helped his cause by having that press conference yesterday?
Well, I think anytime Donald Trump talks to the press, his base loves it. Right? He's adversarial. He doesn't back down, and I think that that's part of the charm for many Republicans and Trump supporters who say, that's our guy. He's not changing. He is who he is, and we like the fact that he takes on the press and like I said, doesn't back down. I think it provides this great contrast also between Trump and Harris now, who has answered a couple of questions, but hasn't done, that sit down that you mentioned. And frankly, I don't think just one is going to cut it for her. I think she needs to have a regular interaction with the press. And I think Trump has shown his willingness to do that.
When you talk about debates and the vice presidential candidates, how significant will that debate or those debates be?
Yeah, I think those are always less significant, but given the fact that, there's some, both vice presidential candidates in all corners of the country are not very well known. The polling on Tim Walz is that, at least the numbers that I saw, almost 40% of the country have no idea who he is. I think J.D. Vance is probably in a similar position. So, it would be a good thing for the voters to have, these two folks who want to be second in command, go on a stage that is going to be widely seen and consumed. And I think that would be a good way to provide information to the voters, again, in ways that, we're not, used to in terms of modern campaigning.
What about the last debate between Biden and Trump? Do you think the moves they made to try and keep it civil work, like shutting off the other's microphone? The moderators didn't really push back. They simply were there to ask the questions.
No crowds.
Right.
Yeah, I think that there's we can debate the debate rules, right?
Right.
I do think that the mic being turned off when it wasn't your turn to speak, I think that helped. Although, I think a lot of it was at that point in the campaign, Donald Trump was showing some unprecedented restraint, and he was incredibly disciplined. And I think that had he wanted to talk over Joe Biden, I think he would have. But I think it was more about Trump's approach. And I would like to see the moderators, hopefully in the one that we have here on September 10th, I hope that they do engage a little more, not to make it raucous, but to push back or ask follow-up questions. I think that's important. But and the audience, I think that's a minor thing. So I think it's more about how the candidates approach it and their willingness to have that civil and respectful discussion.
Well, here's to hoping it's civil and respectful on September 10th, and we'll certainly give you a ring to see what you thought about it. Dave Doolio, professor of political science and director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University. Thanks for your time, as always.
Thank you. Have a great day.